Welcome back to the Code, a safe, warm place. It's the CEO and founder, Tawansa, and I'm here with another one. So, what I'm going to be talking about in this one is what some would call a love spell gone wrong. Okay. So, I'm going to start off with a prayer for divine relationship protection. And this is a beautiful prayer. If you like my prayer, you can find it in Savage Prayers by Tawansa Simmons on Amazon right now for $8.88. Okay, so I'm gonna read a prayer that I made, and then I'm gonna go into some things that I've did and why this is the love spell gone wrong or whatever. Okay, so prayer for divine relationship protection. I declare the decree to the Most High God, my spiritual team and ancestors, to remove any low vibrational being not wanting me or my divine partner to be together by any means. Eliminate all haters, relationships, spell work to anyone that isn't my partner. All and any no sexual partner spells, love binding spells to false people. Remove all negative spells to harm and or destroy me and my partner destiny. Prosecute all karmics who want me alone. Return to sender all curses involving hate, death, mental illness, pain, poverty, suffering, and loneliness. Get rid of all hexes, curses, ungodly soul ties to anyone who will never appear in flesh, and false love spells on myself and divine spiritual partner. Detach all low vibrational witches and warlocks preying on my downfall. Most High God, please bring happiness, power, clarity, love, lust, and loyalty, laughter, king and queen energy, royalty, ultimate pleasure with a tad bit of pain, communication, good stamina, tasteful sexual juice, divine spiritual husband, creativity, positivity, recharging sexual energy, financial abundance, abundance in general, fertility, maximum equal masculine power when we are together, faithfulness, and patience. Thank you, Most High God, my spiritual team and ancestors. So mo to be. So, like I said, if you like that prayer, you can find it in Savage Prayers by Tawansa Simmons on Amazon now for $8.88. I love that prayer. It's very special to me, and that is what I wanted, and that's what I am calling in. Okay? So what I did was I said that prayer and I lit a red candle that I had made. I made a couple dozen red candles. And I said that prayer and I lit a candle for someone who I thought could possibly potentially be my husband. But come to find out, they was a hoe. Okay? I'm gonna keep it straight out. I'm gonna say it straight out. They was a hoe. And yeah. So uh it's been almost about a year since I've been knowing this person now. But when I first met them, I was living with a friend, and my intentions for downloading a dating app was to find a guy who would want to settle down with me and help me go to work. For real, I was looking for a man to help me go back and forth to work and possibly be with him and make my money, and it is what it is. That's what I was looking for in a dating app. But I did not want to put that on the profile. Everything I just said, that's what I was looking for in a dating app. But I did not want to put that on my profile. So, I met this guy. He was in the top, I think the second guy that I met, top 3, and the first one was sleazy scumbag. Woo-wee. Glad I got home safe. But yeah, I met this guy, and it was when I first met him, it was just real big not communication. It was conversation. It was our conversation, and I enjoyed it. I liked our conversation, and a couple times throughout our conversation, when I first met him, I was thinking to myself, is this guy potentially my husband? But I was also getting some red flags at the same time that I kind of didn't that I kind of let go too. So yeah. I think this guy, even though I lit the prayer, even though I lit the candle and said the prayer, I still think he did something to me. Because when I first met him, I was living in another city and he was in another city. And then I moved. And what a coincidence, I ended up moving 5 minutes away from him. And I don't know, it just don't sit right to me. It's very weird. It's just very, very weird that when I first met him, I was in another city, like 20 minutes away from him, and we communicated, but we didn't see each other for about a month. And then when I finally moved, I ended up moving 5 minutes away from him. I just found that real weird and suspicious. And I don't know. Yeah. One thing that I feel like he did something, it's a couple different things, okay? One thing that makes me think he did something to me before I even lit the candle and said the prayer was he was dropping me off, and we had a couple shots or whatever, and no music was playing, and things was kind of going left to where it seemed as if we were having a disagreement, and it was kind of heading towards an argument on me and his behalf. So he had said, just be quiet and listen. No music or nothing was playing or whatever. So me being me, and me and him had talked about me being a submissive woman. I do listen to men, and I be quiet. I was listening, and I just got real horny for him. And we hadn't had sex yet, nothing. And yeah, I just got real horny. This another reason why I think he did something to me. When we have sex sometimes, when he's going down on me, he always move his lips a certain way. Like he's saying something to my portal, and then he smell it. Like the Jeepers Creepers, man. That's the best way I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it. And yeah, it's like he'll move his lips a certain way and I'll be in the zone. And then he'll smell it. But it ain't no regular. It ain't just no, it's like one of them. Like the Jeepers Creepers, man. And I just allow it. But then, like, sometimes I'll feel it. That's why I say I think he did something too. Because I told him one time, like, I'm gonna send you the nose emoji whenever I feel it. And like sometimes I send it. I used to. I stopped doing it though. But I feel them like taking that heavy breath, and I just get horny, and then I send them the nose emoji. But yeah, that's how I'm like. I think he did something too. But that now, as far as him, eating me a certain way and sniffing me a certain way, that was after I had told him that I had lit the candle and said the prayer. Okay. So let me rewind it back. Those was just two things that I had to tell you why I think he did something to me. Okay. So now after he did the first thing where he was like, be quiet or whatever, I was quiet or whatever, and I got horny. Now, when I made it back to my friend's place, when I went to sleep, I was horny for him. And I did want to have sex with him, and I did tell myself, you know how when you be women and men, we be knowing already jump straight off the rip if we want to sleep with somebody or not. Like if we see somebody, we be like, damn, I want to woo. Like you already know if you want to fuck somebody or not. So after, I'm not gonna say after he said that, but kind of yeah, after he said that, I did like the thought was in my head like I want to fuck him. Yeah. After that, after he said that, and he made it tingle, then I did tell myself I wanted to fuck him. But we had already had good conversation. We had already talked about a lot of stuff. Yeah. Okay. So I moved in my place and he came over. I was thirsty. Not thirsty, but yeah, I kind of was thirsty. I was kind of thirsty to have him come over. I still had boxes, bags, stuff everywhere from just being in. And yes, I wanted him to come over. He came over, we talked, and we didn't have sex that first time when he came over to my apartment, but eventually we had sex. When we had sex, that's when I did. Okay, so the first time we had sex, right after we had sex, it was good to me. And when he left, I lit the candle that I made and I said the prayer. And yeah, I kind of called on him spiritually, like in a way. That's it. I didn't do none with my blood. I didn't, take it too far to the max. The only thing I did was lit the candle that I made and said a prayer. That's it. And after that, I noticed that things just wasn't going the right way with us. It just wasn't going, like I said, the right way. that's why I say I ultimately come to the conclusion that I tried to put a love spell on a hoe. He had multiple sexual partners. And I started to find all this stuff out after I had already did that. After I had lit the candle and said the prayer that I just said. That's when I found out in due time that he was a hoe, a manipulator. I cannot trust nothing he say. I haven't slept with him since January 19th and he still play games with me. He just said some weird ass off the wall shit talking about a baby and women can't be alphas and saying all this stuff, trying to get in my head, and I just don't know why he playing games now. After I did the prayer and I lit the candle, he told me that he was gonna forgive me, but in my heart, I don't think he did. I don't feel like he did, and I don't think he can. And that's why I just learned my lesson that I don't have to do nothing like that in secrecy. A lot of women and men, I ain't the only one. They light candles, they light incense, they do all type of stuff in secrecy, and they don't never tell their partner. But I've learned that I don't have to do that. I don't have to do nothing in secrecy. I can do it and let them know. In fact, after Buddy, I moved and tried to get another relationship. And I think that Buddy don't want me to be in another relationship. It's crazy how I feel about him. But the guy who I lit the candle for and said the prayer for, even though he was a hoe and he don't want me, he still tried to do his big one. Possibly tried to slander my name in some social media group, posting up the screenshots. Sad to say, I think he was even doing audio recordings of me, of us. It's a lot with him. He's a warlock, and he said he forgave me, and that do matter in the spiritual realm. That's why I don't understand if he is trying to do something or send things my way. It's like, why are you trying to send things my way when I've taken accountability for the things that I've done? I've apologized to you multiple times. I even looked him in his eyes, held his hand, told him that I apologize and I'm sorry for the things that I've done. He said he forgave me, and we turned around and had good sex. And then he turns around and try to do his big one or try to get some type of revenge on me. Why? I don't know. I'm going to stop saying I think and this, that, and the other. Like I said, I feel like he tried to slander my name, tried to get some clout, post me in some group, trying to batter me, calling me all type of witch bitches. And once he saw that I wasn't that type of woman, then I feel like that's when he started saying that's okay. And we still kept having sex. But why you still was sending and doing all that extra stuff, I don't get it. And when I told him, because after, like me and him haven't had sex since January 19th, but after, us not having sex, we still talk or whatever. But I had a relationship with somebody else. And when I got in a relationship with somebody else, it was awesome. I was able to express myself and tell him if I wanted to light a candle, can I? And he was saying, yeah, just let me know, like, stuff like that. And that's why I learned that I don't gotta light a candle or say a prayer in secrecy. I can do it, and a man is still like that. And just like the guy that I was with after I moved on and tried to, still find the man that I deserve, he liked smelling my underwear, and I liked the fact that he liked it. And at first, he took my underwear in secrecy, and I told him about it. And then I, got off my chest and I explained to him that, with what I manifest. And what I manifest was the next man who slid or who slides his penis inside me raw will want to be my husband, join my business, and have sex with me on $1 million. And I told the new guy that I was trying to get into a relationship that, and he agreed. He was like, okay, that's cool. And, so he knew that if he slept with me raw, that those thoughts might occur. And, it was good. That's why I say that's why I learned that I don't got to do it in secrecy. Because a lot of women and men, when y'all go over these women and men house, even to the hotels, they bring the shit to the hotel, it don't matter. They have these candles lit, these incense, the music, all the shit. Whether y'all know it or not, something is going down. So just because I lit a candle, just because I said a prayer, that don't make me the villain, okay? Y'all motherfuckers be doing that shit whether y'all know it or not, intentionally or unintentionally. Y'all doing the same shit. And the partner, whoever y'all lighting it for, don't think none of it. They just think, oh, it's a romance thing or whatever. But no, that's something else. Y'all doing something else. So anyway, yeah. Do I wish that I would never did it? And maybe we could have possibly been something? It would never, it was not, it wasn't what it was anyway. Because like I said, I did something. I tried to put a love spell on a hoe. I tried to put a love spell on a hoe. On a man who was sleeping with multiple women, and he was putting love or sex magic on all the women. I tried to put a love spell on a man who was putting sex magic on multiple women. You knew that wasn't gonna work. Knew that wasn't gonna. I didn't know, but see, that's the thing. I didn't know that he was putting sex magic on multiple women at first. I didn't know that at first. I didn't know that after we first had sex. And it's crazy. I told him I'm sorry multiple times. And that's why I say what made me why I feel like we stopped having sex was because January 19th, the last time we had sex, just a couple times before that too, when we'll have sex, I get real mad. And I didn't like how it made me feel. Like when we would have sex, I would be happy. When we would have sex, I would be feeling good. I'd be uplifted. And when we would have sex, sometimes I'd be drained, tired. And yeah. But the past couple times we had sex, I started getting mad. Like, why am I getting mad? And we had sex, and I got mad, and I did an egg cleanse. And that was me asking with the power of that egg to detach. I wanted to detach. I didn't want to be, I wanted to cut the strings or whatever. And I did that, and I cracked that egg, and I just asked that I be, all strings be removed. And we never had sex since then, but we still talk, we still communicate. He still, even though we haven't had sex, he has told me, which is very odd and is very irritating. He still brought up having a baby and kind of like being a union type thing. And that struck a nerve in me because he knows that I'm trying to move on and heal from the mistakes that I've made. And I feel like he's playing with me now because he knows that I'm, trying to move on. And yeah, I think that's by him saying that. I don't know why he would say it. I don't know why he would say it because it's like, why would you say that? But you try to slander my name and bash me down to your friends and stuff. But yeah, I have took accountability for the things that I've done. And I said I was sorry. I don't, have he forgave me? I don't know. He said he did though. That's the thing. If you said you forgave me and it physically came out of your mouth, why would you do or have other people even try to do wicked deeds or any type of deed on my name when you said that you forgave me and we continued to have sex? You continued to record me. You continued to, play games or whatever. Yeah. I'm almost at the 30-minute mark. I'm gonna close it out. And that was my experience. And that was a little bit of my story. I'll have to do a part 2. That was a little bit of my story about putting a love spell on a man who is putting sex magic on multiple women. So stay tuned for part 2 if you like it. Like, comment, subscribe. Hey, it's Tawansa. You might not think I'm perfect, baby, but I sure am worth it. And yes, it's only going up from here. Like I said, I don't gotta do that no more. The last relationship I was in, I allowed him, he liked to smell my pennies. I allowed him take them. And I like that type of thing where even if and it was gonna get to the point where I have his things and hey, I like that. A man just gotta tell me, and I just gotta be open and tell the man. Period. And that's what I learned. So have a good one. And dang, dang, I done put a love spell on the hoe. Damn, that's fucked up.